What's up, guys? Welcome to the line change. And I'm going to start off this video by first off thanking Rev Trev, Camping Canucks. For those of you that tuned into my live stream, I mentioned that I was having some personal stuff going on and that was weighing kind of heavily on me and kind of had me in a bit of a bad spot. Having watched his stream and that discussion about like trade talks, I just want to thank Rev Trev for just giving me something to distract myself. So wanted to start off the video by thanking Rev Trev of Camping Canucks. If you guys haven't checked out his stuff, you can find him at Camping Canucks on YouTube. He pumps out some great content for the Canucks and just the NHL playoffs going on right now. He's been pumping out some great stuff. So go ahead and give him a check out. Like and subscribe his stuff. He's putting out some great stuff. So I wanted to highlight that to start off. But to get to the topic of this video, we're going to be talking about an article that I found from our friends at Canucks Army. And I'll leave a link to the article in the description. But I stumbled upon this and it left me a little baffled. But the article is titled Rick Tocchet open to coaching out west after leaving the Canucks, which really makes you wonder, because Jim Rutherford mentioned in both his podcast on the 100 hockey podcast with John Shannon, and he basically mentioned in the presser as well that Rick Tocchet wanted to go to the East Coast and coach a team on the East Coast because it was closer to his family. But now we're hearing he's open to coaching on the West Coast. As you can tell by the title of this video, by no means am I saying that this is the case and that Rick Tocchet did lie to the Canucks. By no means am I saying that. But you can't help but think that, was he not honest with Jim and his reasons for leaving? But let's go ahead and dive into this article. It's from Tyler Kuehl from Canucks Army, and it goes as follows. A new wrinkle has emerged in the future of the Vancouver Canucks former head coach. On Wednesday's edition of Donnie and Dolly, Rick Dollywell stated that Rick Tocchet is open to hearing offers from all teams, not just those from the Eastern Conference. Goes on to quote Dolly, saying, I'm under the impression that Tocchet will listen to all teams, including the Kraken, the Ducks, and possibly the Kings if they make a change, not just East Coast teams. So there is a lot of interest in Tocchet. He's open to all East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, everything. On Wednesday morning, Daily Faceoff's Frank Saravelli mentioned on Halford and Brough on Sportsnet 650 that he also believes that Tocchet did meet with the Kraken. This comes shortly after Canucks president of hockey operations Jim Rutherford told the media that Tocchet was leaning toward working on the Eastern Seaboard. Last week, the Canucks announced that Tocchet wasn't going to return to the team for the 25-26 season after what was a tumultuous season, to say the least. Speculation immediately rose about where the Stanley Cup champion player would end up. Dollywall was very spirited about the idea that Tocchet joining the Kraken or any other team in the Pacific Division would be salt in the wound. And he's not wrong there. That would absolutely be salt in the wound. I also, in my personal opinion, feel as though Jim Rutherford would probably take that as a slap in the face, as would a lot of Canucks fans. He goes on to say, it's not good if he ends up in Seattle. My goodness, in your own division, that's like trading Thatcher Demko in your division. You don't do that. You don't let a coach walk from your organization into another team that's in your division. The optics of him ending up in Seattle would be atrocious to the Canucks. The Kraken's head coaching job opened shortly after the regular season. After just one season, the team elected to let go of Dan Bylsma after missing the Stanley Cup playoffs for the second consecutive season. Along with Seattle, there are several openings across the NHL. The Anaheim Ducks, Chicago Blackhawks, Pittsburgh Penguins, and Philadelphia Flyers are among the teams looking for a person to lead their franchise to future success. So yeah, that is mind-boggling that he actually is open to coaching on the West Coast, and he could potentially, sign with like Anaheim for example. He could sign with Anaheim, could sign with Seattle. And yeah, it really begs the question, was he not honest with Jimmy? And in his conversation with him, is there more to this as to why he said he walked away from, $5 million that the Canucks offered him for the next 5 years? Why did he walk away from that and then go on and say, oh, he wants to be on the East Coast, so he's closer to family? Apparently, his son was living in Seattle at some point, but has since moved back to the East Coast. I heard that, I believe it was last week. May have actually been, I think it was on the 100 hockey podcast with John Shannon. I think it was Rutherford himself who mentioned that on that podcast. I could be wrong, so take that with a grain of salt. But from what I understand and from what I've heard, his son was living in Seattle and has since moved back to the East Coast. And that lines up with him wanting to, go to the East Coast to be closer to family. But now hearing this, that, he's open to being on the West Coast, well, then that makes you, wonder, why did he turn down that money from the Canucks? Because they, threw the bag at him and he still said no. Does it have something to do with the organization? Does it have something to do with Aquilini? Or is there something that we're not privy to that occurred that made Tocchet not want to come back? All things considered, he's a close friend of Rutherford. He's worked with both Rutherford and Alvin in the past, so he's got a good relationship with them. Does it have something to do with the owner, or does it have something to do with the direction of the team? Is that more of a reason for him walking away as opposed to, money? We've talked before on this channel how I don't think money was the issue. It just seemed like Tocchet was done with he didn't like the direction of this or of the team, of the organization. Did it have something to do with, possibility of Quinn Hughes, leaving in 2 years, and he didn't want to sign a long-term deal because he would only have Quinn Hughes for another 2 years? But it also makes you wonder, why didn't they talk about maybe doing a 2-year contract instead of a long-term? I know the odds of that are slim, and you would want someone like Tocchet, for long term. But why didn't he try and negotiate that? If he wanted to just be here, and if Quinn does leave, then he can leave as well. But yeah, you can't help but wonder, was he not forthcoming with the Canucks and with Rutherford? Is there something else going on that we're not aware of, that they've not, mentioned? But I want to know from you guys in the comment section down below. Let me know. Let me quickly do my sponsor read, and then we'll close out this video. Are you looking for an energy drink that is jitter-free, crash-free, no sugars, no artificial colors or dyes, and no calories? Then Uppbeat Energy is for you. With over 15 plus unique custom-made flavors, go ahead and get a starter sampler pack, which includes 3 different flavors. Use code TheLineChange to get 10% off your next purchase. Uppbeat Energy, your taste buds' favorite energy drink. So yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of this new development. That, do you guys think Rick Tocchet lied to the Canucks? Is there more to the story? How are you guys going to feel if he does end up signing with a team that's on the West Coast, maybe even in our own division? Imagine if he signs with the Kraken. How would you guys feel? Would you guys feel betrayed? Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, if you guys like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to the Line Change, I want to stay up to date on all your Vancouver Canucks and Abbotsford Canucks content, at least during this playoff run. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button. You can find us on social media, on Twitter /X at Line Change Van. You can find us on Instagram at The Line Change. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search The Line Change to find our Facebook page. If you prefer a audio version of this podcast, you can find us on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you do, please rate and review. It is very much appreciated. And yeah, that's going to do it for this video. A little bit of a short one, but I saw this and I wanted to talk a little bit about it and get your guys' thoughts on this. So as always, I'll see you guys, or actually go Abbotsford Canucks, and I'll see you guys in the next video.